I dreamed I was a ballerina. A girlhood story by Anna Pavlova, illustrated with art by, guess who? Edgar Dega, our artist this week. Vivid are my earliest recollections, which take me back to the time when I was living in a little apartment with my mother in the city. All of these beautiful paintings are by who?
Dega.
That's right. I was the only child, and my father having died 2 years after my birth, we too were alone in the world. We were very poor indeed. And yet, my mother would never fail to provide, on special occasions, a surprise for me in the shape of some treat. I can still remember my enthusiasm when one birthday I heard that we were going to celebrate by going to see a performance at the theater.
A ballet.
What do you think?
Ballet.
I had never yet been to the theater, and I plied my mother with questions in order to find out what kind of show it was that we were going to see. She replied by telling me the story of the Sleeping Beauty, a favorite of mine among all fairy tales, and one which she had already told me countless times. When we started for the theater, I felt unspeakably happy beside my mother, her arm tenderly enclosing my waist. You are going to enter fairyland, she said, as we were being whirled across the darkness toward the theater, that mysterious unknown. The music of the Sleeping Beauty is by our great Tchaikovsky. As soon as the orchestra began to play, I became very grave and attentive, eagerly listening, moved for the first time in my life by the call of beauty. But when the curtain rose, displaying the golden hall of a wonderful palace, I could not withhold a shout of delight.
That was not fun.
And I remember hiding my face in my hands when the old hag appeared on the stage in her car driven by rats. In the second act, a swarm of youths and maidens appeared and danced a most delightful waltz. How would you like to dance thus? Asked my mother with a smile. Oh, I replied, I should prefer to dance as the pretty lady does who plays the part of the princess. One day I shall be the princess and dance upon the stage of this very theater. My mother muttered that I was her silly little dear and never suspected that I had just discovered the idea that was to guide me throughout my life. Look at those beautiful ballerinas.
Is he gonna join?
What do you think? Do you think she will join in? When we left the theater, I was living in a dream. During the journey home, I kept thinking of the day when I should make my first appearance on the stage in the part of the Sleeping Beauty. And guess what?
And is he a girl?
That's a girl there, but this little girl's not. Listen. That very night, I dreamed that I was a ballerina and spent my whole life dancing like a butterfly to the sounds of Tchaikovsky's lovely music. I love to remember that night. And there she is, Anna Pavlova, who grew up to become
Ballerina.
a ballerina. And guess who that is? Who is our artist? Edgar
Day.
Dega.
So she did both.